Hello friends, this is Colleen Beamish. Thank you so much for joining me today and welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm so excited to be starting this channel and I hope to create a lot of crafty content for you to enjoy. So without further ado, let's get to stamping. So I'm going in with the Greetery stamp set, Sprinkled with Kindness. This is such a pretty stamp set. I think it's from their fall or their spring release, but I think it's perfect for a fall card, which is what I'm going for today. So I'm taking this first layer and lining it up. I used, so I die cut out the watering can and I'm using kind of the negative to put in the corner of my MISTI so that I can line it up perfectly with my stamp. I find this is the easiest way to line up layering stamps. And I'm using Pool ink from Hero Arts. I wanted my watering can to be a very pretty like fall blue color, but I didn't have the perfect light blue for the first layer. So I decided to use the same blue ink for both the first and the second layers. So the variation between the two won't be very distinct, but I don't think that really matters very much and I really like the result. So this is the second layer and to line them up is super easy. I just look at the border and kind of make sure the edges are matching, and then also these watering cans have that Market Fresh in the middle, so I kind of line that up too. And lucky for you, you get a beautiful view of my stamping face in the reflection of my MISTI, so you're welcome for that. And also, I did edit out most of my dance breaks, so you're missing out in that aspect. I listen to show tunes while I'm stamping. I would love to know what you guys listen to. I also sometimes listen to like some like 50s, some Elvis and all that good stuff. I actually might have been listening to One Direction during this. Anyway, for the third layer, I use Seaside ink from Pinkfresh Studio. I don't mind combining different ink brands. I think I don't really have an extensive collection up to this point, so I use what I have. And now I'm using the Mimosa Musings stamp set. This is so pretty. Fall is my favorite season. I'm ready for these fall florals. Look at these. Oh my goodness. So this is the stamping guide that the Greetery includes. And it shows very clearly which stamps you use for which image. And then they also have that QR code that will take you to the lookbook that gives you plenty of inspiration from other creators. So fun to see what other people create. And I die cut all of these out. I die cut them twice because I messed up the first time, but I will be using the negative like I did before to put in the corner of my MISTI. And this makes it really easy to do multiple stamping. So I can stamp on both sets of die cuts and only line them up in my MISTI once. So I go ahead and line those up. Since I haven't used this stamp set before, I go ahead and rough it up a little bit with my fingers. This is just so that the stamp has some texture, so that the ink adheres a little bit better. I'm using Mossy from the Stamp Market. I love these inks. The Stamp Market color collection is so unique, so beautiful. So I use them all the time. Also, they have like the foam pad, so it's very juicy, perfect for stamping. And here I kind of skimmed over it, but I used the template to do my second round of stamping and I didn't have to move my stamps at all to stamp twice. Now I'm using Buttercup ink from Concord and Ninth to stamp the flowers. Again, Concord and Ninth inks, also fantastic. A little foam pad, perfect for stamping. I do love to combine the Concord and Ninth inks with the Stamp Market inks. If you haven't tried that out, do it. And all of the products I use, I will link in the description below, by the way. I forgot to mention that. And for this top layer, I'm using Stardust ink, such a pretty color. And look at these beautiful fall florals. So golden, so pretty, love it. Let's get to, I don't know, arranging. So I have all of my die cuts and I start to put them in my watering can and it's not really working for me. The big one's too big, the little one's too yellow. So I do end up bringing in another stamp set from the Greetery because you just can't hold me back from using the Greetery stamp sets. The florals are too beautiful to not have them all. So 10 out of 10 recommend. Here is the Budding Beauties Autumn stamp set. I had previously stamped these out, so I don't have that in the video, but I do want to show you the stamping guide there in the middle, and I used a template again to do the layering perfectly. So now, composition. This is the challenging part of card making, and it's the part that I somewhat dread, but I also do because I know that it will be beautiful when I am done. So I am figuring out how I want these all arranged. I did this for a very, very long time, and I did not bore you with all of that. But here I got them exactly where I wanted them. I think that looks so pretty. The purple, the red, the golden yellow, all with the blue. I don't know. Let me know if you think it looks good. And I kind of played with the idea of putting some die cuts on the outside, and then I strayed from that. And now I'm just going to adhere all of these florals to the back of the watering can. I use some Gina K Connect glue, the best glue out there, in my personal opinion. This glue a little bit goes a long way. I always use too much because I'm out of control. And the tube never jams, which is like a kind of a big deal. So I adhere these all to the back of the back of the watering can. And I will flip this over and give you a little look-see. It is a mess. And we will have a solution for that in just a minute. You guys have probably already guessed it, but I'll keep it a secret for now. And now I'm taking some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White 110-pound cardstock, cut to 5.5 by 8.5, and scoring at 2 1/8. I am making a gatefold card. I bet you did not see that one coming. So, surprise. Ta-da, it's a gatefold. So now I'm going in with some pattern paper from Honeybee. This is their Autumn Festival 6x6 pattern paper pad. Such beautiful papers. I think I got this for my birthday last year, and I'm almost out of it, so I will probably be needing more. I tried to not use pattern paper, I'll be honest with you. In my head, I kept thinking, is this a shortcut? Am I like cheating at card making? But that is not a thing. If you like pattern paper, if it looks good with the card, it doesn't make you any less of an artist. You still have that eye for the design. And look at these pretty neutral browns with my bright watering can. Oh, I love it. So, like I said before, messy back, and when I open the card, you're able to see it. So I take one of my draft watering cans, and I will adhere that to the back so that it gives it a nice, beautiful, flawless finish. Again, I use too much glue. You don't need that much. I need to calm down. Also, this is not my first attempt at a gatefold card. If you would like to see my first attempt, which was a little sadder than this one in my personal opinion, you can go check out my Instagram at humorbean_cards on Instagram. I will link that in the description as well. Right now, I am working on the little hinges. If you really want an in-depth understanding of how to make this gatefold card, because I'm not giving enough of a description, please check out Jennifer McGuire's channel. I will link that and those gatefold videos that she shares down below. This is my sentiment watering can. That is what I have titled it. I am deciding what sentiment I want, and I end up choosing "Thank you for your kindness." I stamped that off screen because you guys know how to stamp. If you don't, I'm sorry for assuming so. And now I'm going to adhere my little hinges onto my gatefold card. For this, you want to use a really strong adhesive because you don't want it to fall off. So I'm using my Gina K glue. You can also use score tape, some Tombow Permanent Adhesive, whatever, you know, tickles your fancy and whatnot. So I'm here adhering to the card. Make sure to only glue it onto one side, one hinge per side, and don't overlap them. And now I'm adhering my watering cans on. Again, one can per hinge. Don't overlap, or else your gatefold will just be a closed card that they can't open. So that's my first watering can adhered, and then the second watering can is going to go behind it, hidden, like a surprise. So just adhere it to that second one, and when you stick it on, make sure that it lines up. I did not make sure it lined up, but because I used that wonderful liquid glue, I had plenty of time to move it around until it was hidden perfectly. Now, I don't know about you, but that sentiment watering can is looking pretty plain. So I decided to go in with some spare die cuts I had just lying around, and I glue them onto my watering can. I could have considered this beforehand and just stamped them on, and honestly, I probably would have liked the look of that a little bit better, but I didn't think of it. So here we are. And now the front also needs a little zhuzhing up. So I take this Hello scripty sentiment from the FaBOOlous Sentiments from Honeybee Stamps, and I'm going to heat emboss that onto a little piece of black cardstock. I use my anti-static powder tool, some Versamark ink, the perfect sticky ink for heat embossing, and I will use some Ranger white embossing powder. The more powder you use, the better the results, in my personal opinion. And I use a dry paintbrush just to brush off any excess, and then come in with my heat gun and heat that until it's smooth and melted. I'm using Tombow, my Tombow Permanent Adhesive tape runner to adhere that to the front of the card. I tuck it a little bit behind the flowers, and honestly, I think this sentiment pulls the whole card together. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, look at that. So cute and so autumnal. So thank you so much for joining me today. This is my Gatefold card. I hope it's, I don't know, everything you imagined. It's everything I imagined. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want more crafty content, go ahead and subscribe. I'm so excited to make some more creating content. There'll probably be card videos, maybe some scrapbooking videos, maybe some other random, I don't know, knitting, we don't know. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!